What's up, everybody? This your favorite cousin, Rich. Now, I want to piggyback off of yesterday when I talked about if men could be providers in 2025. And the thing I want to talk about or point out is how a lot of men say, a lot of women make their own money today. Or the rhetoric of a lot of women is, they don't need a man. Which could be true now because financially, a lot of women are not in the position that they once were historically to where they are now able to take care of themselves financially. They're able to survive without a male counterpart. So from the angle that they're saying, they don't need a man, from what they see, they don't need one, And the things that we say, we add protection, provision, all these other extrinsic values, they're not necessarily seen in a high light. And I believe it's because we haven't displayed that actual need, or we haven't displayed that how that could be beneficial for her. I think that's number one. We haven't displayed that. We haven't shown proper protection, proper provision, As a collective, we have not. I think that's one of the major reasons. It's because we haven't displayed that. And if you think about the media and all that, it just promotes that message even more, that she doesn't need a man. And there's deeper reasons why. It promotes that you don't need a man. So the question is, of course, women don't need men. In a sense, they don't need men today. But what will attract a woman? What will make a woman in today's times want to be with you? And I'm not necessarily saying because, she's attracted to you, because women are still attracted to men. So that's never going to change. But the thing is what makes her want to build with you? What makes her want to grow with you? What makes her want to stay with you in today's times? Versus, her being independent, her staying to herself, her doing what she wants to do. What makes a woman want to say, I want to build with you. I want to give up my independence. I want to give up this life that I've known about me not needing a man, me not needing provision, me not needing protection, me not needing a leader. What makes her give up all these things that the modern world has granted her as an independent woman? What makes her give up all these things and to say, I want to build with you. I want to grow with you. I want to build with you. What makes a woman in today's time, what makes her want to make that decision? And to be completely honest with you, that's a big decision to make. A person giving up their quote unquote freedom, or them, allowing somebody to lead them, especially in today's times where you kind of don't necessarily need that. I mean, you do in order to have I would say you do if that person is suited for that role, because that person, I believe, can take you to different heights. And like I said before, I believe in divine order, a certain hierarchy. So I believe in those type of things. So I believe it could be beneficial. But like I said, not everybody's on that type of timing. So what would make her want to choose to be with somebody who's on that type of timing, or, somebody who professes to be on that type of timing? What makes her want to choose that? And I think it's how you are as a man, how rooted you are in yourself, your self-confidence. you know? I think that's what stems from it. Number one, who you are as a man. What values do you have? You know, does she see value in you? Does she see value in her giving up her independence in order to build with you, in order to be with you? I think that's one of the biggest things. Does she see value in you? Does she see that her life could be better with you than by herself? Because like I said, the independence and all that, that's cool until I believe it runs into a brick wall eventually. I believe eventually it gets old. I believe eventually they look for counterparts. Eventually they want somebody to be with. Eventually, I always believe that. And I think deep down inside, no matter how independent a lot of women are or profess to be, I believe they don't want to necessarily be independent. They just chose that route because that was the one that best suited them due to past traumas and due to the state that a lot of men are in. And I'm just keeping it real. Especially right now, where you see a lot of men have given up dating and given up this and given up that. It's even more beneficial for a woman to be independent now because she can't trust if a man has resentment for women, if a man deep down hates women, da-da-da-da-da. So for them, it's even more important now than ever to keep their independence because putting it in the hands of a man right now is scary if he's not proving himself. I think deep down, this is the concern that a lot of them have. Now, it comes off as we don't like men, we don't do this, we'd rather be independent, da, da, da. It comes out like that, but deep down inside, I think it's just the fear of disappointment that's been happening so long. And like I said, it's not all men, but as a community, as a collective, that's the stamp that we have. And I know that shoe don't fit me, but I still have to wear it as a collective, as a community, because when a black woman sees me, if she's been through trauma, that's the first thing she's gonna see about me. Because as a collective, that's that's what we wear. That's the suit that we have to wear. Because as a collective, as a community, that's how we moved. So I believe she has to see value in you. She has to see value in you. She has to see if it's worth her giving up her independence to be with you. She has to be able to see that her life will be better with you than without you. She has to see that she's going to be taken to new heights and elevate to a new, plateau of life with you than without you. She has to see that. And how she sees that is how you display your life, how you live your life. Are you either already there or working towards that? I think that's the biggest thing. You have to have value. And value does not mean money. It does not equate to money. It can equate to money, but when you start equating value directly to money, it allows for other things to creep in that's not necessarily rooted in righteousness. So that's why I don't like to necessarily equate money to value. Because when you equate money to value, it allows for people to ride the fence about being righteous, and I don't like that. I believe you being righteous is number one when it comes to value. How you conduct yourself as a man, no matter your monetary status, no matter your monetary value. Are you respectable? Are you somebody worth respecting? I think that outweighs, money when we're talking about value as a man. Are you valuable because you can lead her? Are you valuable because you know how to manage money? Are you valuable because you know how to manage emotions? Are you valuable because you have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan? Or if you don't have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, you're always focused and dedicated to what you have at task right now in order to elevate yourself? Are you rooted in self-development? Are you always trying to improve, or are you just cool where you at? Do you want more out of life? These are all the things that she has to see value in you for her to give up her independence. So granted, fellas, yeah, a lot of them don't need to be with men. They don't need men. That protection and that provision and all that we keep saying that we give them, they don't need that until they run into a brick wall. And sometimes when they run into a brick wall, they figure out their way around it for them not to be able to admit that they need a man. So what is going to make them, get over that wall, get over that hump of them saying that they don't need a man? And it's something that she has to see in you that overrides that thing that the media overrides the thing that the rhetoric has built inside of them and what life has shown them. You have to have value. She has to see potential in you. She has to see potential, not necessarily in you. And I say potential in you, that's if you're working on yourself and you're growing and you really want to be, you're not where you are now, but you're working on that. She has to see potential in you, but she has to see potential in this partnership, this union, this relationship. She has to see potential in it. She has to be able to see herself in that role and potential for her to be better or greater than where she is now. She has to see that. And if you can't display that or you don't display that, then she has no reason to be with you. And I think that's a beautiful thing right now, this position that we're in right now, because it really shows who you are as a man. That somebody who has this complete independence, can do what they want, make money by themselves, do what they, Somebody has all that, and they give it up to build with you. They give it up to be with you. I think that speaks highly now. So I don't have no problem with this whole independent thing. I don't. Because it shows that somebody, like I said, will give up all that, and they see something in you and say, I want you, I want to be with you. I want to build with you. I want to grow with you. I want you to protect me. I think that's a big, beautiful thing. No, that's powerful as a man. But now you can't let your ego get in the way and this and this and this, Because a lot of times, in the past, women would get with men for survival, desperation. To be dependent on you, dependent on your paycheck, dependent on this, dependent on that. But like I said, now in the position that they're in, that they're independent, they don't need a man, If she's choosing you, that's because you got something respectable about yourself. You have a vision. You aligned with your purpose. You aligned with your passion. You aligned with God. And she chose you. And like I said, I think that's one of the beautiful things right now about, the times that we're living in. Is that if somebody gives up their independence to be with you, that speaks highly on your character. That speaks highly who you are as an individual. And she says, I trust you to lead me more than, not necessarily I trust myself, but I like your plan more than what I like my plan. I trust your plan. I like your vision better than the vision that I have for myself, or better than the vision that I've conjured up in my head. I think that speaks highly. So, she don't need you, but does she want to build with you? Let me know what y'all think. It's your favorite cousin Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.